Hello and welcome back to another in-depth weather video. Today we're going to be talking about Winter Storm Dane, which is affecting the Great Lakes region as of now, and will be dropping some pretty plentiful snowfall along the coasts of some of those lakes. In specific terms here, mostly Lake Erie. So let's get into it. But if you like this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell. Now, I am on the Weather Channel page, and here is their article on the storm. Winter storm bringing snowfall from Great Lakes to Appalachians, and rain, wind to East Coast. So, here's the overall strong low pressure system, impact the east through early week. Snow blanketing the Great Lakes, Ohio Valley, and Appalachians. East Coast will see a wind-whipped soaking. So, let's actually go down to here, where we have their forecasts. So they kind of show for Monday a lot of mixed precipitation. That's because we're gonna have rain switching over into snow throughout the day. But once you get into Tuesday and even through Wednesday, you start to see the snow just kind of stick around, and that's where you kind of get those higher snow totals. This storm really doesn't pack a punch in terms of intensity, it packs a punch in terms of endurance. So here are the forecasted snow totals by the Weather Channel. You can see some spots of possibly even 12 to 18 inches of snow, especially if we see some lake effect snow build up after the system. That might end up influencing this overall snow total. So let's take a look at the National Weather Service page. As you can see here we go. We have some winter storm warnings from New York to Ohio, as well as from Pennsylvania to West Virginia, and then even down into North Carolina. So definitely a pretty good amount of people under winter storm warnings right now. So let's move on here from that. You can also see, plenty of winter weather advisories as well with the system. But let's just move on to the radar here. So we have kind of like a weird setup here. We have two low pressures, one in the north and one in the south. So the one in the north has this cold front, and that's what's really bringing in that cold air for this snow that's already impacting parts of Ohio, but not the parts that will really get to see most of that snow. This second low pressure really doesn't affect the snowfall, it more affects the actual thunderstorm activity on the east side of the system, and also some of the heavy rainfall as well. So actually, let's move on here to the winter weather outlooks. So we're going to be looking specifically at this area over here, and we're going to be looking at 4 inches. Actually, let's start with 1 inch, and then we'll go on to 4 and 6 inches of snow. So right now you can see that targeted area, 95% of getting 1 inch, so 95% chance. Now that area expands over the next few runs. This is within 24 hours of these time periods. You can see over here a pretty decent area from Ohio, Pennsylvania, and West Virginia in that 95%. Then that slowly starts to shift toward the east and toward Lake Erie as we get into Wednesday and Thursday, and then eventually it all dissipates and moves into the northeast. Now if we go back to the beginning here, let's click on 4 inches. So with 4 inches you can see kind of less of a chance, but that chance also increases over time, and you start to get that 90 to 95% chance along Lake Erie for 4 inches of snow, and that means that it's pretty likely. Now let's actually go to 6 inches just real quick, and we can see a slightly less chance of that happening, but you still get that 80 to 90% in spots of Ohio. That's where the Weather Channel puts their 12 to 18 inches. I think that that might be a little bit overshooting it, but it's definitely still possible. So let's go into some of the mesoscale models, in specific the NAM 3 km model, and see what the snow totals are there. So if we're going to zoom in here on this section, we're going to be looking at the western part here. So you can see currently that snowfall transition currently happening, but as you can see, this low pressure moves through not much snow. What really happens here is that we get this kind of circulation, that low pressure redevelops, and that kind of brings in these bands of snow and that heavier overall snowfall, and that's where we get most of our snow. So if we go to total positive snow depth change, right, you could definitely see 6 inches, maybe even 8 inches of snow in parts of Ohio, but a widespread area of 3 to 5 inches from western Ohio into West Virginia and into Pennsylvania, even up into New York possibly, but also in Canada as well. So let's take a look at the 12 km model just for reference here. Pretty similarly, has the highest snow totals in Ohio, but also has some areas where bands set up, and that's where we get that New York snowfall, especially with it showing that possible lake effect threat here as that low pressure moves off. Let's go to the GFS and take a look at that total positive snow depth change. The GFS is definitely shooting at a higher snow amount right on the coast. So areas like Cleveland, Erie, maybe even Buffalo could see higher snow amounts than the surrounding areas just because of the fact that there will be that energy off of Lake Erie that is now being dumped upon the coastline, kind of like lake effect snow, but during the actual system itself and not in that band form. So that is about it. That's all I have. So what do you think that is going to happen with Winter Storm Dane? Do you think that these areas are going to see those higher snow totals, possibly even into the foot range? What do you think? Comment in the comment section down below. But that's all I have for today. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time.